Welcome, friends, darling, fine, fabulous folks, strumpets and scoundrels, to Dada Cabaret. Put your hands together and welcome to the stage your hostess for tonight, the wild woman of cabaret, the wonderful, the gorgeous, the tigress herself, Diva Hollywood! Hey! Do you like whips? This side's thinking about it, that side's not so sure. And you know what it is? Let's just do that. Lean across like that and go, yay! Wonky and wonderful, that's what the show's all about. We keep trying. Okay, my name is indeed Diva Hollywood, whip teaser and tiger tamer. Now, this is a relaxed show. Are you relaxed? Are you relaxed? It's a relaxed show, so you gotta be relaxed. Are you sure you're relaxed? Okay. What that means is that we have a nice quiet spot out in the bar. If you need to, you can go out there. I'm just gonna do one little thing though, because I realized that trying to carry this and a whip was yeah, you do that and this. Yeah. Ah, man, oh, that's so much better. Shit. I'm back this year to using it, and these heels just sort of like tippy toe you into your toes like that. So, it's a relaxed show. And that means if you're not happy with where you're sitting, you can get up, you can move around. If that person in front of you's got a stupid hat on, or they smell, or you're just not keen, you go, oh, I'm here, I don't like it. Oh, so does anybody want to move? No? You sure? This bow is deciding to fall off. Do you need a pee? If you need a pee, it's not going to be one of those shows where I'll shame you for needing a pee, because I'll be honest with you, the majority of the time, need a wee, but dressed like this, I'm not having a wee for at least another 3 hours. So have one for me. You can go out, you can just chill, you can do that. Now, normally I would ask you not to talk, but you can, as long as you're doing it quietly. Be aware of our performers, be sensitive to our performers. Don't use your mobile phone. If your phone rings, if you haven't turned it off, nip out and answer it, or I will come and lick it. Now that COVID's sort of sorted, I continue to do that again. And I might put it somewhere where you can't find it, or you have to pay me to get it back. Okay, so what else? I didn't have any of that in my notes. I'm sorry, darling. They're winging it. They know what I'm like. So we've got some incredible and amazing, hard-working and wonderful performers for you. But just remember, this is a relaxed show. So you are relaxed. Are we relaxed? Yes. Well, shit. Are you relaxed? Yes. That's better. But I think I need to warm you up just a little bit more. So I want to warm up your vocal cords first. So after 3, I want you to roar for me. Because you're going to be my cabaret tigers. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was okay. Yeah. Now, I want you to imagine more that you're running through the forest after your prey, and they might be naked. So 1, 2, 3. Nice, see, that was much better. Now, I've also, those that can stamp their feet, I want to hear some stamping of feet. And those that can't stamp their feet, I want to have some waving. Or you can stamp and wave if you feel like it. Nice, that looks great. So next, I want you to, could you do me a favor, just hold on to that, because this bow is deciding to do its own bloody thing and slip off. Slip off. There we go. So, just look after that, I'll have it in a minute. So, the next thing I need is you to warm up your hands, because you're going to be doing a lot of clapping this evening, okay? So I have a very special way of getting my audience to warm up their hands. I want you to put one hand out in front, and I want you to imagine that that hand is a nice, firm bottom. Now that bottom can belong to your significant other. That bottom can belong to somebody that you would like to be your significant other. If you're very brave, you can believe it's me. But whoever it is has been very, very naughty. So after 3, I want you to give that bottom a good slap. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I said 1. You're pretty, but you're not very bright, but that's okay. I can work with you. So after 3, I want you to release that inner wildness that I know that you all have, that inner tiger. So after 3, I want you to give that significant other 6 good slaps. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was 8, but still I can work with that. Now, I want you to join it all together. I want you to roar. I want you to stamp your feet. I want you to wave as well, which is really difficult if you clap, and I hadn't thought that one through. I want you to clap as loud as you can go. 1, 2, 3. This side. This side. Those that feel like they're female tonight, they do it. Those that feel like they're male, roar. Stomp your feet, clap, roar. Stomp your feet, clap, roar. Stomp your feet, clap, roar. Perfect. That's the thank you so much for being my gorgeous assistant. What's your name? Ray. Ray. Round of applause. No, not Ray. No. Ray, everybody! I'm so sorry, Ray. I'm also slightly deaf. I do apologise. But Ray, everybody, that was a crap applause for Ray, because Ray may be asked again in future to help me with this iPad. So, right, are we all set up? Have we got it? Do we know what we want? I think there should be some props up here for our person number 1. Where are my lovely pop? This is just Zach. Just Zach, yeah. No salt, no pepper, just Zach. But I think they're a little bit spicy. So, Zach, is that it? Do we not have a table? Just that? Are you sure? Okay. Just Zach, everybody. We're a family here at Dada Cabaret, and if anything goes wrong, we blame each other, just like a normal family. So, amazing. I would like to welcome to the stage our first cast member. They are a wonderful songstress, and they've done shows in amazing places like the beautiful Winter Garden in Blackpool with acclaimed musicians. Seriously, it's kind of like, yes, thank you. When I pause, go for it. With acclaimed musicians. And they've even done an afternoon tea with our very own mayor. See, that's exactly the reaction I wanted. So, please start drumming your feet and starting to roar and clap for Miss Sunny Sarah! Keep going! Miss Sunny is blind and needs assistance onto the stage, so the louder you applaud, the quicker and the more welcome she feels. Miss Sunny Sarah, everybody!
Good evening. It's really a privilege to be here tonight. And thank you, Diva, and all of you for the lovely welcome. I'm going to sing 3 totally different songs for you tonight. The first one, I've sang this song for years, but I've never actually tried this drink before. Lilac wine. I've been told it's like Parma violets, but I don't know till I try it. Many people have done it, Eartha Kitt originally, but this is probably the most famous arrangement by Elkie Brooks. So I do hope I do it justice for you tonight. Lilac wine. I lost myself on a cool, damp night gave myself in a misty light, was hypnotized by strange delights under a lilac tree. I made wine from the lilac tree, lost my heart in its recipe. It made me see what I want to see, be what I want to be. But I think more than I ought to think, do things I never should do. I drink much more than I ought to drink, because it brings me back you. Lilac wine is sweet and heady like my love. Lilac wine, I feel unsteady. Where's my love? Listen to me. I cannot see clearly. Isn't that he coming to me? Nearly here. Lilac wine is sweet and heady like my love. Lilac wine, I feel unsteady. Where's my love? Listen to me. Why is everything so hazy? Isn't that he? Or am I going crazy, dear? Lilac wine, I feel I'm ready for my love. Feel I'm ready for my love. Thank you. Thank you. I think I need some of that intoxicating drink because I'm a bit croaky tonight, which I'm not usually. What a week to go and get a sore throat, a week of a theatre performance. But anyway, I suppose in any performance there's always an emotional part, and this is my emotional bit. I'm going to do a beautiful song. We live near Fleetwood, and there's a wonderful man, Alfie Boe, who played Jean Valjean in Les Miserables, and he did a fantastic version of this next song I'm going to do, Bring Him Home. And I've got a couple of tributes. We've, of course, quite recently we've had Remembrance Sunday, and I do just hope and pray that those who are in the services return home safely. But also, this is quite a poignant song for us for another reason. We found out yesterday that our next door neighbour, who'd been battling cancer, sadly passed away. And bring him home, or bring her home in her case, it can mean many different things, and it means to us that she's been brought home to her final resting place. So I'd also like to. This is also a tribute to our lovely friend Julia, who'll much be missed, and it's bringing him home. God on high, hear my prayer. In my need, you have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest, heaven blessed. Bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. He's like the son I might have known. If God had granted me a son, the son would die one by one. How soon they fly on and on. And I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is old. You can take, you can give, let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. Thank you. I have to say, you Tigers sound great. Now, I'm going to jolly things up a bit now. There was a film out in the 50s, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and it's a film that I never get tired of watching. I only wish I had Marilyn Monroe's or Jane Russell's looks. Now, this song is Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and it's a hint for you girls, to you fellas. It's nearly Christmas. If they don't know what they're going to get you, this should give them an idea. If you feel free to clap along and enjoy this wonderful space. Are glad to die for love. They delight in fighting duels. But I prefer a man who lives and gives expensive jewels. I kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. Kiss may be grand, but it won't pay the rental on your humble pact, or help you at the automat. Men grow cold as girls grow old, and we all lose our charms in the end. But square cut or pear shape, these rocks don't lose their shape. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Tiffany's, Cartier, Black Star, Frost Gordon. Talk to me, Harry Winston. Tell me all about it. There may come a time when I love me alone, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. There may come a time when our bold employer thinks you're awful nice, but get that ice or else no dice. He's your guy when stocks are high, but beware when they start to descend. Then those louses go back to their spouses. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I've heard of affairs that are strictly platonic, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. And I think affairs that you must keep platonic are better bets than little pets get big baguettes. Time rolls on, and you think on, and you can't straighten up when you bet. Stiff back or stiff knees, you'll stand straight at Tiffany's. Diamonds, diamonds. I don't mean a rhinestone, but diamonds. Best friend. Thank you ever so. I love Chanel number 5. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, she got cut off. She was saying, enjoy the rest of the show. Keep going! Keep going! Get her back to her seat! Wow! I saw them in rehearsal, but we didn't actually do any of the songs, so I didn't know how good they could sing. How amazing was that? Incredible. Now, this next performer, the first time I actually saw them, they were in a really short skirt and they were skating around in the Visible Wind Factory, and I thought, oh, they're cute. And they can skate really, really well. And it turns out that they're not only good on 8 wheels, but because they've just got the right amount of ADHD, the list that I have got here is phenomenal. They can do ceramics, illustration, they can animate, they can draw, they have their own jewelry business called Ace, and they've recently taken up burlesque. Yeah, sounds ADHD to me. But tonight she's bringing her incredible talent for comedy poetry and hopes to arouse and delight with her silly little rhymes and stories. And she's a bit embarrassed because she's never done it in front of her mum, and her mum's here tonight. Hi, Mamas! Hi, Mama Snark! Everybody give a cheer to Mama Snark! We do love a mama in the audience being proud of their babies, even if they're being rude, especially if they're being rude. Okay, so let's welcome to the stage. They are stunning. They are outrageous. They are filthy. They are Joan Cooper Snark.
I've just suffered a loss, and I lie blankly in the dark. A faithful friend of mine you were, it hurts to see you part. 'Cause it's been 20 tragic seconds since your final mournful buzz. I saw the writing on the wall, but ignored it in my lust. 'Cause I should have charged you yesterday, or the week or day before. 'Cause now I'm lying high and dry, just staring at the wall. My intimate nerve endings fried, now non-responsive to my touch. I mash your buttons desperately in denial's final push. 'Cause no one ever let me down so hard. I thought that we were a team. Turning you on when I'm turned on. You and me, baby, we're the dream. But I'll plug you in tomorrow and you can resurrect like Christ. But for now, I'll sleep unsatisfied and mumble your last rites. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Joan Cooper Snark, and I'm a poet living with ADHD. We've started rude, and it is only going to get worse. So I would like you to know that screaming, snapping, hooting, and hollering is welcome when I say rude things in my set. So we may practice very quickly if I say breasts. Very good. Wonderful stuff. So I do find that ADHD, for me, is a constant battle between me and control. And that expresses in some ways which is straightforward, and in others that are a little less so. So this next piece is an exploration of that of sorts, responding to a poem that you may have heard of called I Wanna Be Yours. But I dare say this version is a little bit different. It goes a little something like this. You wanna be mine? Get on your knees. I'll use you however I please. So thank you, Joan.
Thank you.
Say yes, Mummy.
Yes, Mummy.
Do you want to be domed? I want to be your landlord who chokes your gasping wage. I want to be the painful things that Keir Starmer says. You're like a second home to me, so come and be my property. At least an orgasm is free. Do you want to be domed? I want to be your UC, leave you wanting and frustrated. I want to be your PIP and make you feel degraded. Darling, just as I've explained, you've nothing to lose and I've got chains. Be my scapegoat, take that blame. Do you want to be domed? So let me be the 5-day week and work you till you collapse. Let me be your sertraline and hold back your climax. Did you ever want control? It's easier to do what you're told, so just play the role. Do you want to be domed? Thank you. So, the thing is with ADHD is that the literature does say that it can make you hypersexual. And I hope you can tell that that is not the case with me. So this next piece is a very wholesome testament to my hobbies. It is called Money Shot. And it is better performed from this position. Can one ever truly beat a shot of semen served up neat, coaxed from a lover's proud erection, and shot upon my fair complexion? I covet a fantastic bang by basking in acidic tang. For I, for one, do hold no scorn for something one only sees in porn. His voice, so recently a growl, now softly offers me a towel. And duly I erase the trace of any sin left on my face. For happily I will endure. I like to play the painted whore. And now ends my explicit prose of getting blasted by a hose. Thanks. So I did bring a rather large cock onto stage with me. It's been sitting there like Chekhov's gun. But you know, as a female comic, you do see a lot of male comics. And you see them go onto stage and get easy laughs, prancing about and joking about their cocks. And you think to yourself, somewhat wistfully, man, I would also like to make jokes about your cock. And so when I discovered this medieval Welsh poem by Dafydd ap Gwilym, I was delighted. Not only is it illuminating to centuries of male struggle with their bodies, but it also lets me perform wearing a giant paper mache penis. So without any further ado, this is Dafydd ap Gwilym's Ode to the Penis. By God, penis, you must be guarded, restrained by hand, by eye regarded. Because this stiff-headed scepter, it will end me in court unless I'm careful with whom he consorts. So take heed, ladies, and sometimes gentlemen, maybe. Then, lest I be charged with his crimes once again, as this fish hook of cunts, that's what he says, after many complaints, oh, it ought to be muzzled for goodness sake, for it is like a loathsome rolling pin, that's what he says. But one who'd have every noble woman to sin, as he thinks he's some God-sent gift. This scrotum's horn. Don't rise, don't gig, stop your twitching, you accursed pole. You're but an eel's head with a hole. You think yourself a pillar between a girl's two halves, but you're merely a greenwood hazel mast, a pole for the cavity in a girl's lap, that's what he says. A hopeful wet head, a milk-giving shaft, a gander sleeping in cygnet's plumes, a blush tip pushing out like a growing shoot, a bolt to nail between arse cheeks bare, longer than the length of my thigh, I swear. A chisel chipping away 1,000 nights, a tail, albeit on the wrong side, a crowbar bent to pry open legs, a signpost pointing where I go next, your cube, a whistle that signals to fuck, because you are a pestle, you are a gun, your eye sees every woman as fair, swift as a bell's clapper, ding, you are there. It's difficult keeping you under control, you pathetic, woeful, chard-planting pole. You're a trouser full of wanton thought, deceitful, goose-necked, leather-wrought, a seed pod of indecency, a dawn hell on which they'll hang me. So consider this a write-up of your foul case, for the trouble you'd had your master face. It's a difficult life to keep this thing in check. So for once, bow your head and show some respect. Thank you. So some of the best things end with a bang. I say, why not end with a hand? You have been a wonderful audience. And my last piece will be about my favourite great British pastime, getting fingered. You're worth a bird in the hand, 'cause your hand's in my bush. Jolly in my Roger, 'cause I'm Captain Hooked. grip between my hips like Mufasa did that cliff. Long live the king, 'cause I'm so wet you'll slip. You're stroking my cat, you're playing my keys. You're a pianist fluttering through furrellies. You're swirling my pearl and caressing my clam. You're rubbing my ghee like it's a genie lamp. You're getting me sweating like I've got Ebola. You're making me squirt like I'm Mentos and Cola. Reaching like Michelangelo's creation of Adam. You're gesturing inside me like you're an Italian. You're Spider-Man shooting, rock and roll saluting. With come hither I quiver, through my pants you're rooting. When it's over too quick, I'm glad hands can still linger, 'cause there aren't enough poems about getting. Thank you very much.
Miss Jane Biggerstack! Woo! Oh my, I've heard them online, but I've not heard them live. I couldn't actually see them because I'm tucked away back there, but how bloody good were they? Woo! Mama, are you proud?
So proud.
Yes! We love a proud mama. Okay, so this next act, they have performed all over the world. See, I don't even have to bug you to do it anymore. You just do it. They've performed in Geneva. They've performed in New York. They performed in Iceland, the country, not the shop. They've performed in San Francisco. They've performed in Hull. Yes, tonight we are spoiling you because we are bringing an international cabaret and former burlesque performer, and they are doing an act from their hopefully soon to be made show that if the Arts Council actually fund it, they're going to do it, all about how when they turned 35, their life changed forever. So please welcome to the stage and give me a couple of minutes. Me!
I started to dance naked to deal with disability, to make myself feel something other than hostility. I started to dance naked. Age of 35, instead of settled down, I suddenly became alive. I started to dance naked in shows and clubs worldwide. My life became a whirlwind, a story full of pride. Invite you to dance naked at your office or living room. Be prepared for what might happen when you find your inner bloom. I invite you to dance naked, alone or for your lover. Find your inner fierceness. This is for you and no other.
Woo! Oh man, these are heavy. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Zach, can you bring my stick, please? This is the first year I've had to use my stick again after 17 years of having MS. Thank you. Oh, look! Now, don't you be starting that now. I'll give you these because you're going to have to take them off the stage anyway, so you might as well take them now. Oh,
Are you all having a good time?
are we relaxed? Are you very relaxed? Good. Okay. So yeah, got to use the stick because I've got a bit of drop foot. I was at my specialist today and I was explaining what I was going to be doing this afternoon, and they were like, "How high are those heels?" Okay. So it turns out that you do get a little bit of drop foot. What do we need to take off? Do we need the chair off? Yeah. Yeah. Did you retire? Oh, and there's a glove there, and they've got a glove. So I know, I scattered. And I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did. So now that brings us, no, that doesn't bring us to the end. This is what happens when you get a dyslexic as a compere. Yay! Next up, we have a wonderful poet. For they describe themselves as a working class poet from Wigan, is it then? Oh, good, thank God. I thought I jumped ahead. With cerebral palsy, and they're a wheelchair user with a firm belief that his disability has given him more than it's taken away. My kind of person. His poetry ranges from the frustration of everyday access issues to travel, dating, and growing up. His poems and his stories are quirky, whilst told with a zest for life and honesty, a dry sense of humour. Sean has several poetry books published and has appeared on TV. I know, and radio. I know. He's also recently performed his solo show in Edinburgh, the Free Fringe, and he's just bloody brilliant. So give it up for Sean Fallows!
Sorry, can't hear you what you said. Carry on.
Yeah, thanks a lot. These are some of my journeys. I did a little show when I was in Edinburgh, and it was called Sonny and Cher. So these are some of the little kind of journeys, if you like, that I've took. And the first poem that I want to do is called They Race Me in the Streets. And one of the things, if I'm honest, that I never really feel that often, that's quite a rare thing, is you don't often feel very spontaneous in the churn. You don't feel always very cool. But one day these kids stopped me in the street, and there was only about 9 or 10. And the first thing they wanted to know was how fast did I go. And it was like the best thing I've ever heard, because within about 5 minutes I was like a transformer. I just flipped myself up and I said, I'll show you how fast I go, lad. And I burned him off on his little scooter. So this is about that, really. It's called They Race Me in the Streets. Long before they develop expressionless faces, covered by headphones, obsessing over grimy beats, these kids come to race me in the streets. To them, I'm today's news. To them, I'm just a guy in 2 clean yet pretty cool shoes. And before I know it, they've gathered round me, willing me to be part of their family tree. Yeah, you must know my sister, my other brother, or my auntie. So I indulge them because it's funny and something to do on Saturday nights. Because one day, obesity may crush Johnny's little scooter when reading him his last rites. Because their unchosen background may stop them from hitting the heights. But they just say, where's your lights? How fast can you go? These kids, smiles from nests with bulbs that glow. These kids come to race me in the streets. Pictures of curiosity when abruptness and abundance all meets. Long before they develop expressionless faces, covered by headphones, obsessing over grimy beats. These kids acting unfazed, yet so easily amazed. And finally, surreally, they decide to run beside me, like Lassie. egging me on, the working class Iron Man. For the older generation, James Bond. So I respond, replying and flourishing to the speed of sound, my feet never ever touching the floor, but finding common ground. Now this next poem was about, you know, long before I got to the stage where I was like racing kids in the street. Long before that, I used to be quite a quiet person, really really reserved, and all that changed when I think if you're lucky, every person gets a catalyst in their life, and my catalyst for change was a guy called Derek, and Derek was a guy that I shared a room with when I was at college. I was studying to be a disability fitness instructor, and when I saw how much kind of accessories he needed, Derek, he had a special chair with oxygen tanks on and stuff, and he had loads of bears on his bed, and some of the staff were brilliant, but a lot of the staff, they just came in and put him to bed like at 5 o'clock when I was going out for my tea. And I just remember thinking that if I don't pull my finger out and start speaking up a little bit, then that box is going to be me. They're going to put me in that box and they're going to nail me in that box. And I didn't want that. And just to say as well that, you know, he only knew 3 words, and I'm proud that I taught him to say fuck off. So this is a poem called What They Said to Derek. I shared a room with Derek when I was just 16, and unless you've ever known Derek, it's hard to understand what I mean. See, Derek only knew a few words. They were, hello, you bugger, and mucky turds. They told me, they said, Derek would be 31 soon, but all I heard was when Derek chuckled a childlike tune, and he chuckled that childlike tune every day, calling me mucky turds, because Sean was so hard to say. And what will we do with you, Derek, was what they always said. And what they always did with Derek was put Derek to bed. And then every evening, when I went for my tea, about 6, Derek got his customary mushy Weetabix. And what will we do with you, Derek, was what they always said. And what they always did with Derek was put Derek to bed. See, if you don't talk, if you can't talk, you become just another piece of dirt in an already blocked drain. Wondering if you're still sane. So that was my shock, surprise. If I ever saw Derek with open eyes. See, I shared a room with Derek, and what they said to Derek, they'd never say, no, never do to me. From then, I struggle hard, away from the noose, away from the noose, away from the noose, to be free. Thank you. Yeah, so by that point, when I was sort of getting to the middle part of college, I think one good thing about being so far away from home is when your family doesn't know you and stuff, and you're kind of starting from scratch in a way, you can reinvent yourself. And I found that I could sort of try everything I wanted and be a different person. And one of the things that I really got into, because we had a lot of volunteers who studied at the college from various countries, one of the things I was really into was travelling. And I ended up where I looked at maybe how I could get on the Eurostar to travel independently. And it was on one of these times that I went to Amsterdam, and I've never been in Madame Tussauds before. So one day I had a lot of time to kill before my evening meal, and I went in there, and I'm really glad I did, because normally on tours and things, you've got to change wheelchairs because of access reasons. You have to swap chairs, and I really hate that. I get kind of cantankerous. I say, oh, not doing that, you can stuff that. But to be honest, when I saw this, how pretty this Dutch girl was who was coming towards me, when I realised that she was going to push me around for the next 2 hours, all my morals and my principles just disintegrated, and I jumped into that chair quicker than I was Usain Bolt. So this is about that, really. When I fell in love at Madame Tussauds, and she was real. She was really real. When I fell in love, it's called Call Her My Tulip. Past the timid canals and the rowdy hordes, I fell in love at Madame Tussauds, and she was very real, not made of wax. Her name was Ella, and a few more facts. She was the tour guide who pushed me around. In those few hours, I felt 50 feet off the ground, 'cause she likes the artists, she likes green tea. My mind mumbled, my mind mumbled, my mind mumbled like a bee, 'cause that peony was talking to no one else, no one else, no one else but me. So past the Tibby Canals and the Rowdy Halls, I fell in love at Madame Tussauds. She said, I like your humour, I like your kind face. I thought, I like you everything. But stuck in a museum lift was neither the time nor the place. As the afternoon warmed from the morning cold, I had a strange sensation to put my life on hold. For a stranger, so strange I must be. But that peony was talking to no one else, no one else, no one else but me. So past the Timmy Canals and the Rowdy Halls, I fell in love, I fell in love. Yes, I fell in love at Madame Tussauds. Thank you. And finally, just to finish off, I want to kind of finish off by going back to what I was saying at the start of this little set, that one of the things that I kind of wish I could do more often is be spontaneous, but there is a reason behind the fact that you can't be spontaneous, and quite often I get in situations where you still can't get in a lot of buildings, and quite often when I'm doing poetry gigs, I'll have like really long absences where people kind of wonder where I've gone, and I think the kind of like time that passes in between the gigs, they kind of worry that I've passed away. So I say, I've not passed away, it's just I can't get in your building. And so that gave me a weird thought of kind of thinking, you know, just imagine if I was going to haunt you. Imagine the practicalities and the logistics of that for a minute, because basically, if I was to haunt you, it would involve me ringing you up. I'd say, please put this in your Google Calendar, turn your skybox off, and basically you'd have to help me up the stairs first. So, but I can guarantee when I got in that building, I would give you the best haunting you've ever had in your fucking life. So, this is called A Disabled Ghost. Can I scare you shitless, please? Can I scare you shitless, please? 'Cause I'm a disabled ghost, and I just don't get as much haunting on a jaunting as most. It's all the stairs, steps, curbs, and cobbles you see. Elements of surprise are a ghostly foray, but not my luxury. Can I scare you shitless, please? 'Cause I'm a disabled ghost, and at first you leave me ramming down the walls and breaking the plaster, but I'm fully committed once I'm in, with that real-time spirit tracking and those prearranged phone calls. Thank you. Just to say as well before I go that I do have some of these books online. If you go onto a website called lulu.com and type my name in, Sean Fallows, you'll see my books come up. One of the books you have to click explicit content, which makes me feel like Kanye West. But it's not that. I just swore about my dad once, so it says that. But yeah, if you want to check out my books, it's lulu.com and it's Sean Fallows. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. Cheers.
John Fallows, everyone! Sean, what's your book called? Do we know what it's called?
Yeah. The new one's called Redundant Butties.
Amazing.
I've got a really long story about that. But yeah, Redundant Butties.
Redundant Butties, you heard it here first. This is for your perfect Christmas gift. Sean, everybody! Woo! Well, you've actually got just one more act. We're coming up to the interval. Oh, God, you're so slow. Now, I know I said it was relaxed and I said you could move around, but I think for this one, I'd really rather you didn't. So if you could stay seated, that would make me very, very happy. Because this is dangerous! So come, I've got my dangerous tracksuit on. Because this is a heck of a lot easier to whip crack in. So there is going to be whip cracking involved in this next act. I'm just letting those that have not quite got such good sight know that there's going to be lots and lots of noise. Or for those that do not like lots and lots of noise, we are going to have lots and lots of noise. Is that clear? Yes. Are we still relaxed? Amazing. I'm so very pleased. Now, normally I always come on from this side of the... And I can't help it. I have to come on from this side. So I'm just going to move over here and I'm going to put my stick down. And, oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so, sound. I know I said I was going to go off, but I changed.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know. So hit it. I don't always get it right, which for one person tonight will freak the fuck out with the next bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever you feel like being tonight, my name is indeed Diva Hollywood, and this act was inspired by Mabel Stark. She was the first ever female tiger tamer, and she was a wild woman. Do we have any wild women in the audience tonight? I said, do we have any wild women in the audience tonight? Amazing. Now, normally when I do this act, I work with my tiger, who I tamed and trained, but the little bastard's gone off and got drunk. So you know what that means. You are pretty but not very bright. What that means is I need a volunteer. Now, I like them brave and I like them shy. I also like them to be able to see, to be able to hear, to not stumble. And I've also got a thing for beards. So... Ooh. Is that a beard I see in that corner over there? Is that a beard? No, I forgot. Oh, yeah. We're supposed to do the whole, like, don't touch people inappropriately. So, if anybody feels like don't want to be touched inappropriately, please let me know. And if you really don't want to do this, please do this. If you're a girl, you're okay, because this is definitely going to be a boy. Now, Joan is pointing feverishly at somebody up there. No, there, I'm getting a no, 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 no. No. Really? You leave a tiger lady who's, you know, struggling with drop foot right now, and this is killing me being in these heels. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yay! They knew they wanted to, really. Yay! What's your name, baby? Matthew, everybody! Oh. It's so soft, I could just get naked and run barefoot through it. Oh, this is great. Have you ever done anything like this before?
No.
Who's your person, Matthew, up there?
B.
B, get your camera out. You're going to want to film this. Okay, so Matthew, if you just stand there for me. Right. Now, what the fuck did I put the table all the way over there? Okay, so just pop those on. Can you see anything? That's probably for the best. Okay, and they really can't see anything. Are you okay? No. No. Too late! Okay, so I know you're very warm. If you want to take your top off, we won't complain. Did you want to take your top off? Because you're going to get hotter. And just throw it. Just throw it in a. Ah, yeah. I don't normally put that in the act, but I think I might have my volunteer strip. So obviously, you can't do a tiger act without safety equipment. And when I say safety equipment, I mean tiger mittens. I was going to say muffins there. Tiger mittens. Okay. This is why I was saying it gets very, very hot. So this is your other hand. I'm going to pop that in there. If you can get your thumbs through, that's great. How are we doing, Matthew? Brilliant. It's too late. Got the stuff on now. Okay. Right. So I'm going to bring the big whips out because we've got a big, strong tiger. Now, before we start, I just want to hear one thing from you. Could you roar for me? Yes. Not them. It's okay. A little bit more. That was good. Okay, Matthew. Now, I know you can't see properly, but I want you to take this in one hand. That's it. And cover anything that you feel is important with the other. And you might want to put it out in front. Take one step back. No, you just want to hold it with one hand. I did this with a load of bankers, and he covered his wallet. I hit him in the cock, obviously. Okay. Honey, you might want to move back just a little bit, because I think we're... Yeah, okay. Matthew, if you just want to take one step back, so I don't hit Dora. Are we all... Dora, you can come in. You can come back out now. We're safe. Okay. I won't hurt you, I promise. Are we ready? Matthew, are you ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yay! Amazing. Now, Matthew, how flexible are you? Turn around. Bend down. Sorry. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. Sorry, sweetheart. But lovely bottom. This will be on Facebook before you stand up. Okay, can you tuck your hands between your legs for me? I've got to do this quickly because they normally throw up at this point. Okay, so can you grab this? Oh, you're amazing. We want it out as far as possible so I don't hit your ass. That's it. Amazing. Are we ready? Andrew, are you ready? Stop shaking it. It makes it harder. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I know. How close was that? Scary. Okay, take a breath. Okay, so this one, I've not tried it with this headdress, so I could be completely buggering this up. Right, so for this one, I need you to turn back and face the audience. And when I say, and not before, because otherwise you're going to have a bad back, is you're going to hold this in front of your cock and you're going to lean back. But don't do it until I tell you. And you want as much, you want it as much as possible. Yeah, okay, so. Like I said, I've not done it with this. I made this. I know. It's those plastic tie things. So I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, yeah, no, look. Maybe. Oh, shit. This is what happens when a dyslexic decides to plan something. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay. Now, on my face. No, shit. Oh, God, no. Dora, you know. Can you tie that on for me? It doesn't matter. It's only plastic. It'll bounce back. I'm sure it will. All the gold's falling off, obviously, because I had no idea what I'm doing. Right, that's fine, as long as it's on. Right, am I facing the right way? Am I facing the right way? Now? Okay. All right. Is he still on the stage? Oh, amazing. Now, sound, my lovely sound technician, can you mute lower the sound for me now. Okay. The reason why I asked you to roar, Matthew, is because I'm going to find you sonically. Okay? So, is he doing the... Are you sure? I hate it when I hit him in the cold. Obviously, if they haven't paid first, you never get the money. Okay, so here we go. Audience, are you ready? Oh, Matthew, roar. 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 Did I get it? I got it! Amazing! Woo! I've been Diva Hollywood. This has been Matthew. Take the glasses off. Thank you very much! Okay, so I've left my stick over there. Tor, could you pass me my stick? Jesus Christ. Okay, these actually fit as well. I have a size 5 and I'm a size 6, but these are actually a 6. So, this is the interval. You can go, have a flirt, have a pee, have a wee, have more flirts, have a drink. Mine's a Pinot Grigio. Just saying, I can legally drink now that I've stopped whip cracking. So, large, chilled Pinot Grigio would be very appreciated. And we'll see you in the second half. Don't go away and have pizza. Welcome back, everybody! I just thought I'd slip into something a little bit more, you know, maybe not quite so fancy, you know, that sort of like everyday, go to Asda thing. Do you know, I got this made just before friggin' lockdown. So she sat in my cupboard, just forlorn, and I swear to God, I was so tempted to go stand in a B&Q queue. Going, yeah, this is what we wear. This is what we wear to go to B&Q if you're a cabaret unemployed performer. I did used to look very nice while I was making my banana bread, I'll tell you that. Okay, so did everybody have a flirt? I'm so disappointed in you. Really, all we've done is talk about sex in this show, and accessibility and wonderfulness, and you didn't even have a flirt. I don't know. Well, okay, and nobody sent me a Pinot Grigio. That's the first show that's happened, but considering I also forgot my whips today and had to go back home to get them, it's just one of them days, and it's probably best that I don't have wine and drive. So, now... Okay, next up we would like to welcome someone who's really rather wonderful and who I've been sharing a dressing room with, and they've been really good about the size of all the costumes. They want to make you laugh. They're a wonderful performer, and they use comedy to come to terms with her life-changing injuries. Her Edinburgh show, Full Frontal Lobe, about brain injury and body image, was nominated for an award. I think we can make more noise than that. She uses comedy to raise awareness and issues around disability. So I want to hear a roar. I want to hear you stamping those feet. I want lots of noise to welcome to the stage Lizzie Lenko! Keep going.
But yeah. Huge round of applause for Diva. She's doing an amazing job. I'm Lizzie Lenko, and I'm not right in the head. I injured my brain in a car crash and it left me partially sighted. It also affected me memory, me speech, me memory. I'm only half blind, this half. I've got absolutely no idea what's going on the right. Just a load of unfocused nonsense. Which could be about my head injury, or a cutting satire about the state of our current government. The really big difference is I do still have some vision on the left. So my head injury, it took away my filter and it left me with a very dark sense of humour. The problem is, people don't realise I'm joking because I still look so miserable. I have resting goth face. I get told, cheer up. So, I parked my car upside down on the A34 and I went for a lovely stay in Southampton General Trauma Centre, which was nice, 5 stars. I had so much car embedded in me, I'm now what's known as a dashboard. My mate said to me he'd give his right arm to be a cyborg. I nearly did. But an amazing surgeon managed to save it. I've got 2 titanium rods in there. Proper metal. So now I can do that. I can do that. And my physiotherapist has got me working on a more flexible hand movement. Imagine that. It's like being wanked off by the Terminator. Come with me if you want to live. I'll be back. So my friends say to me, look on the bright side, which in my case is just here. And it wasn't all bad. There were some good things about being in a trauma centre, mostly the drugs. A nurse would come round with a trolley and a tabard that said, "Drug run, do not interrupt." I thought, well, I could do with one of them for the next time I'm going through an airport. Now, you know how they say, laughter's the best medicine? I think it's morphine. Now, I am not advocating for the use of recreational drugs, but in my youth, I did take rather a lot of hallucinogens. So now when people ask me, what's my eyesight like? I can quite confidently say, LSD. It's like being on acid. They give me a white stick to stop me tripping. Oh, come on. I deserve more for that joke. I had to go blind to tell that. No, I love how people react to it. Most people just keep out my way. Others shout loudly so I know they're there. And a woman in Manchester fell over it. So I offered it to her. And then a drunk guy in Leeds shouts, "Where's your dog?" So this is what I did. Is he not there? Lucifer! I also, I get a lot more attention now from, how can I put this, the more aesthetically challenged gentlemen. There was one on the train earlier, his name was Tony, he was from Kettering. He said to me, "You're a comedian, a female one. Do you tell real jokes or just chat about cake and vaginas?" I said, "Well, I used to be a patissier." And he went quiet. And he said, "I don't know what one of them is." I said, "It's a pastry chef. It's French for pastry chef." "Ah!" He said, "You can't say that now. Brexit." And I was transported to a dystopian future of half-moon curly bread instead of croissants. No more paninis, just hot squash babs. Your lattes, your cappuccinos, dash from your hands, and if Tony from Kettering has got anything to do with it, they'll bring back hanging for anyone caught inside a delicatessen. But no, Tony, no vagina jokes. Solidarity for the current industrial action. If you have been struggling to locate vagina lately, they're on strike. Working conditions. Such a lot of effort, so very little reward. And during lockdown, this discovered they quite like working from home, preferably alone. My own vagina made a little sign to protest. What do we want? Oh, clitoral stimulation. When do we want it? We've got some desperate women in. Just have a look over there. Take some notes. When do we want it? Now. Oh, probably while he's in the shower. So yeah, union rules say, while I can talk about fannies in general, if I start talking about specific vaginas, that's where it gets sticky. No, that's horrible, isn't it? Yeah. Now, speaking of my sticky toffee pudding, which is incidentally very nice, I am going to end with the cake. Now, as a baker of cakes, I spend a lot of time thinking about cake, eating cake, making cake. And what I've done is I've written a song about cake. Now, this is genuine, heartwarming things people have paid to have iced on a cake. I think you're going to find it incredibly moving. I know I do. I get quite emotional. You might need a hanky. Sorry for loud threesomes. Why did you marry me? Happy 50th birthday. Now when you laugh, you'll pee. I slept with your mother. Sorry that you got stabbed. I think your house is haunted. Sorry I gave you crabs. Thank you for the anal. I'm leaving you. Bad luck. Love you, love me. I love all three. The two of you just suck. This is an intervention. Let us get very drunk. Love you, do me. I'll do all three. I'm covered in your icing. I've been Lizzie. You've been lovely. Hasta la vista, baby.
Go, everybody! Amazing! Wow, I am absolutely loving this tonight. How good is some fucking disabled cabaret? Who wants more? I think so. I think we should go on tour with this show. Yeah? Yes! Okay, now, we were talking about drugs there, and I've just got to discuss the elephants in the room. The only drug I'm on at the moment is HRT, and this is the first time I've put this bra on since taking HRT. Thank you, the NHS, because they're all real, and they're all mine, and I was like, oh my God. So I haven't fallen out yet, but yes, thank you, NHS, for all the wonderful drugs that you've given them, and the view that I can give you tonight, because My boobs are great. I'm really happy with my boobs. I know. As you know, we don't get to talk about these things, and I'm just saying, shit, because they'll be back under a onesie and a big hooded top by tomorrow. The real me is such a nerd, and we do not look like this. Okay, so next up, we have an incredible person, and I love the fact that I discovered an extra one backstage. Not only are they part magician, they're part pirate, they're part comedian, and I also found out they're part wrestler, which they didn't put into their blurb, which they should have done, because that's incredible. Eden is a one-of-a-kind performer that promises to leave you impressed, amused, and a little confused, which is how I spend most of my life. One half of Foolish Maneuvers, and currently touring their new solo show, Misdirection. Eden's comedy is a personal and slightly surreal look into queerness and neurodivergency, each note punctuated with a magical miracle. For fuck's sake, we're nearly at the end of the show and you still can't get it. A magical miracle! Thank you. Okay, so I want to hear you roar. I want to hear you clap. I want to hear you stomp your feet. And give it up for Eden NW!
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Eden MW. I'm a non-binary magician. I'm gonna. Why am I so far back? Well, let me explain. Also, apologies, I didn't write a script. They asked me what I wanted my lighting to be, and I thought upstage meant over there, but apparently no. I'm shoved in the back, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm loud and obnoxious anyway. This is about the right distance. Anyway, my name is Eden MW. I'm a non-binary magician. For those of you in the room that don't know what that means, I will explain it. What it means is I stand in front of crowds and do magic tricks. Straight people get confused by that joke. Queer people seem to get no reaction from that joke. I might cut it, but I like it, so fuck it. It's staying in. This is a war. The whole show is a war now. I've lost my train of thought. That happens a lot. So, yes. Like I said, I am non-binary. Therefore, Eden is the name that I chose myself. As you can probably tell, because if you've met a non-binary person, there's a 3 in 4 chance that you've met someone called Eden. It is just one of those names. Fun fact, when you come out as non-binary, you get sent a list of 10 names. Well, I tell a lie. It's 9 names, and the 10th option just says, look out your window and pick a thing. That's what you're called now. But so I went with Eden. It was option number 4 on the list. But it suits me far better than the name I was given by my mum, because my mum was like really into like WWF when I was born. She named me after her favorite wrestler, which I will say, as an aside, when I say her favorite wrestler, I meant the one she wanted to fuck the most, which got really awkward when she tried to then introduce me to WWF. But it made, okay, I was bullied at school, big surprise, but it made me a really easy target. First day of school, teachers going through the register. Jacob, here. Marianne, here. Jonathan, here. The Ultimate Warrior. But it could have been worse. If she was into WCW instead, I would have been the full package Lex Luger. Which after transitioning would be the empty package Lex Luger. I had a whole other routine planned, but I bought a new trick yesterday and I really want to show it off. So I scrapped everything and had to send emergency emails to everyone changing. They're so patient back here, which is why I don't have a script. I apologize again. And I thought, and it's from, it's And it's from a thing called the... It's from a thing called the Magic Trick of the Month Club. And what they do is they send you a box with magic stuff in it, and they send you an audio file so you can sort of practice while you're listening. So I figured, why not do something fun? I'll play the audio through the thing. Speakers is the word I'm looking for. And we can all learn together. Does that sound fun? Letting you in on some secrets. So, this is the box they sent me. This is the box they sent me. And this is your sound cue.
Hello, magician, and thank you for purchasing from the Trick of the Month Club. This month's trick is called the Vanishing Bandana. For this trick, you've been sent 2 items. One is a dark piece of cloth, and the other is a yellow bandana. Step 1. Take out the dark piece of cloth and set it aside on a table. Step 2. Take out the yellow bandana. Now fold it in half. That's right, I said fold it in half. Now, fold it one more time. Step 3. Now it's time to learn the secret move. This is the most important step of them all, so pay close attention. Take the yellow bandana and hide it in your left hand. Make sure you keep your hand in a natural position. Very good. The secret move you've just learned is called palming. Now that you've learned the secret move, you are ready to perform this exciting trick. Open the folded bandana and prove to the audience that this is a normal everyday bandana by waving it up and down. If a member of the audience does not believe that this is a regular bandana, allow them to wipe their hands on it. Now, place the bandana on a table and pick up the dark piece of cloth. Next, gather the 4 corners of the cloth together, making what looks like a little bag. Using your free hand, pick up the yellow bandana from the table and fold it as you did earlier. Now, drop the yellow bandana into the little bag. Next, squeeze the bandana into a small ball. Go ahead, squeeze it hard. What the audience did not see is that you never really placed the bandana into the bag. You actually kept it hidden in your left hand. You did remember the secret move. Whatever you do, keep your left hand in a natural position. Now, make a magical gesture. For your grand finale, open the bag and show that the yellow bandana has vanished. Great job. Now sit down, take a break, and enjoy the complimentary snack we've included.
So that was fun. I told them I might make some bandana-based mess, and now they're making me clean up. So I don't really have much to say while I clean up, so you're just going to watch me awkwardly wipe up some bandana. Cleaning! So that was an excerpt from my show Misdirection, the ADHD magic show. And one of the reason I'm bringing this up now is because one of the big things that nobody talks to you about ADHD is time blindness. I have no idea how long I've been on stage, but I've run out of material. So my name has been Eden MW. You have been wonderful. Have a great rest of your night.
MW, everybody! And again, I have a completely pointless piece of costume, but I didn't get to wear it because of fucking lockdown. So there you go. I'm putting it on as much as possible. This is what I was talking about, Alice. This is the mama. of all boas. Oh, there she is. It's great, isn't it? Okay, so next up, we have some burlesque for you. And not just any burlesque. This performer has been voted best burlesque figure in the world in 2020 and 2021. They're an absolute darling. They're from Australia, but they've adopted Liverpool. They are the 2020 Burlesque Princess Armour in Rome. I think I said that right. And they performed this year in the 33rd Tournament of Teas at Burlesque Hall of Fame, which for us burlesquers is pretty much like the mega Oscars, and it's really cool. So yeah, woo! This act is brand new, and if you can come up with a name for it, that would be really helpful, because they haven't come up with one yet, so I don't have a name. But it's marches and parades celebrating the queer community often forget that there are so many queer disabled humans who would love to have access to these events. This act is really just a celebration of being here, queer, disabled, and dangerous. Give it up for Little Miss Peaches!
One, two, three, take my hand and come with me, 'cause you look so fine, I just really wanna make you mine. I said you look so fine, I just really wanna make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks, 'cause you don't need no money when you look like that, do you, honey? Big black boobs, long black hair. She's so sweet with that get back stare. I can see you're home with me, but you're with another man, yeah. I know we ain't got much to say before I let you get away, yeah. I said, are you gonna be my girl? Now I can see you're home with me, but you're with another man, yeah. I know we ain't got much to say before I let you get away, yeah. I can see you're home with me, but you're with that other man. I know that we ain't got much to say, but before I let you get away, I can see you're home with me, but you're with that other man, yeah. I know we ain't got much to say, but before I let you get away, I said, Are you gonna be my girl?
Good evening. The book, Sturm, as you'd guess, is mostly about stuttering. It's also mostly autobiographical. These days, I just have a bit of a stutter, and often when performing, not even that. And the reason I've only got a bit of a stutter now is that I got effective speech therapy at the age of 23. Before that, the stutter was really, really bad. And this first piece is about having a really, really bad stutter, and it's called Ho, 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 and a Monster is Born. Several times now, I've heard stand-up comedians on TV and radio saying how they were bullied for a little while at school, but found they could get out of it by coming out with jokes and with fast, funny answers to the other kids. How easy they make speaking sound. Imagine the scene. It's a lovely, sunny playground where, unfortunately, I am in the grip of two playmates, one on each of my ears. Fortunately, however, I have just thought up a very funny joke. Unfortunately, because of my stutter, I can't get a bloody word out, and I'm still just stuck with this very funny joke in my head and a so-called schoolmate still holding each of my ears. Oh, how they would let go of my ears and roll around with hysterical laughter. If only I could actually deliver this very funny joke that I've just miraculously thought up. How they would slap me gently and apologetically on the back as they welcome me into their club of people who are never bullied, who are at worst just slightly joshed. How they would henceforth wait on my every witty word, the gems I will bring out with such elegance, such timing, such pants-wetting funniness. Yes, I think to myself, I'll make them piss their pants, the bastards. I'll take the piss out of them for a change. As a child and through into my 20s, I had two bad problems. The first one, obviously, was having this terrible stutter and the fact I couldn't get a sentence out without getting stuck halfway through. And the second one was not being born into a much richer family. I know I might seem naturally posh, but I had to work at it, you know. Anyway, this next poem is about life at that difficult age between 5 and 23, and it's called "It's Hard to Be Suave with a Stutter." I dream of being eloquent with upper-crusted tones, my repartee so elegant and bright. Sophisticated soirees will become my rightful home, my words just like a charm of birds in flight. But it's hard to be suave with a stutter. It's hard to be a breezy sort of bloke if when you order champers you get stuck on It hampers you in mingling smoothly with the gentler folk. I'd be the life and soul of every dinner party thrown. My company would be most keenly sought. My every witty story would be keenly hung upon, from first aperitifs through to the port. But it's hard to be suave with a stutter. It's hard to be a chatty sort of chap. When you're telling jokes but tending to get stuck before the ending, it tends to take out something of the snap. Oh, bad enough to have a dad whose job is mending cars and a mum who works at cleaning all day long. Oh, bad enough to find I'm born outside the upper class. But to have a stutter too, well, that's just wrong. For it's hard to be suave with a stutter. It's hard to be a dashing sort of dude. All the spitting and the snorting at the debutante you're courting can tend to dampen something of the mood. I dream of being slick and glib with stardust on my tongue, the grandest MC yet to grace the room, with streams of words that scintillate like fireflies in the dusk, a subtle bouquet bursting into bloom. But it's hard to be suave with a stutter. It's hard to be a jaunty sort of gent when your very best oration has no words, just punctuation. It can slightly sap the zest from the event. But something I was surprised to discover about the word barbarian is that the barbar part of it comes from both ancient Greek and Sanskrit, and it's basically saying that the language of foreigners sounds like someone stuttering or like an idiot. And hold on, let me just consult my no, that's true. Yeah, so basically, it's equating being foreign with both being an idiot and being a stutterer. So thanks very much to the ancients for that. This poem is called Barbarians. It comes down from the ancients, whether Indian or Greek, a handy name to call the fools who don't know how to speak. The gibberish of foreigners is all just bar, 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 the clattering of stammerers, of those with no savoir. The stutterer, the idiot, or anyone non-Aryan, with every bleat or bray betrays himself as a barbarian. Our tangled, mangled language gives offence to God and man. We've got them scoffing and a scolding, bar, 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 barbarian. So forgive us now our dumbnesses, we beg, O mighty Jingo. Forgive us, we barbarians, who can't quite speak the lingo. There you go. The poet Gene Spratlan wrote a couple of poems romanticising unlikely objects like rubber gloves and parking meters, and this last poem takes some inspiration from those. It's a poem called The Utter Glamour. I have been thinking very hard in magnificent isolation about my stutter. And I have come to a conclusion, and I have concluded that at least 3/4 of the trouble with the stutter is just bad marketing. What the stutter has got is the wrong image. Most people perceive it as something clumsy, ugly, time-wasting, and also generally a bit pathetic. And those people just need to be helped to realise how wrong they are. And the way to do this is to market the stutter as a luxury item. People, especially pretty women, need to realise that the stutter, especially my stutter, is quite classy. That not only Emperor Claudius, but also Albert Einstein, George VI, and James Bond all had stutters. James Bond's stutter in particular having a certain elegant je ne sais quoi as displayed by David Niven in the first movie of Casino Royale. Yes, I can see it all now. People, especially clever and really pretty women, only need to realise the true attractiveness of the stutter, starting, say, with the block stutter, the poise of my lips, the sensual closing of my eyes, the delicate hesitation, the suspense of the pause. Yes, women only need to realise that women like a man who keeps them, like a man who keeps them, like a man who keeps them, waiting on his words. For who knows what depths lie beyond that silence, and the man with a stutter is a man of mystery, and women's hearts flutter as they give up all resistance. And I haven't even got to the repeat stutter yet. The leisure to treasure each rough, precious consonant, to savour each syllable over and over. Ah, yes, people, especially clever, gorgeous women, only need to realise the irresistible attraction, the tonguing and tonguing that might last forever, the vigour of the stutter, the masculine hammering with its endless potential, a jackhammer stammer with its unspoken promise of paradise in the sack. Yes, it's clear that people, especially bright and fantastically gorgeous women, say a little under my own age, need to be aware of these things, helplessly aware of them. Yes, so helplessly aware that at my first slight stutter, they can't help but find they're getting moist already. And it's clear that other people, especially confident and hunky, good-looking men with flash cars and cushy overpaid jobs, also need to be aware of these things, need to be hopelessly aware of the clattering inadequacy of their own feeble, fake speech impediments as they try pathetically to jump on the stammering bandwagon. Need to despair in jealousy and awe at the overpowering allure of the real thing, which I have in abundance, yes, abundance and triumph. Ah, the stutter. Ah, the stammer. Ah, the utter glamour. Cheers.
And now, sadly, we come to our final act, which the Unity's probably really happy about because we went over. Sorry. But we've got somebody really rather wonderful for you. We've got a Scouse powerhouse, a vocalist with a quick wit and charm who prides herself on making the audience feel safe and welcome. The granddaughter of Cilla Black, she embodies Liverpool's culture through storytelling, style, talent, comedy, and using her platform to open up conversations around discrimination with humour and positivity. I know. Hell yeah. So please welcome to the stage the incredible, the gorgeous Vila Crack!
Shut up. Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen, you dirty cow. I love them all and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Hello, me little chickens, I'm coming to see you, how are we? Got a little motto, always sees me through. Oh, when you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. Who's that? Mine now. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of chat for what I've got to get. I like women too. Don't you know that this hand washes that one? I just spilled your drink, sorry. When I made you look down, whoa, whilst you're there. Mama's got to you. Come on, you boring bastards. Took me 3 hours. I've been backstage for 5 fucking hours. Cheer up. When they pass the basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. You gorgeous twat. When they pass the basket, folks contribute too. You put, go. She'll put out, yeah, 4 inches of foam queenie pie, you never get that. They say the top, the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up your ladder, kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Alan, let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. 'Cause when you're stroking mama, turn them lights off, saying you, mama's stroking you. So wait, what is the one conclusion that I can leave this number 2 like a poo? Thank you. When you're good to mama. Mama's got to you. When we checked this earlier, there was 1 piece of tape on the floor. And now there's 4 fucking thousand. That's why I missed me cue. Stupid. Oh, yeah. How are we? Oh, God, you've been sat there for 2 hours. Come on, here's where the fun and raucousness starts. How are we? Gorgeous. Ah, yeah. She taught me some naughty words before. Let me uncle. Sexually transmitted disease. She's worked with RuPaul. Oh. For those of you who I haven't met, my name is Philippa McCracken, and I am your Neuro-Spicy drag queen. How are we? Because most people call me Philip Crack. You might know me now, Cilla Black. Oh, God. And I'm here. I don't know why I'm here. Just to make things a little bit silly, aren't I? Oh, I want to come and talk to you. So can I have the house lights again? Oh, God, you all look like you like Disney. Turn them off, 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 turn them off. Talking about Disney, did we know that recently we have seen the first person of colour play a Disney princess in The Little Mermaid? Did we know? That is bloody progression, isn't it? Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? That's what we need. Representation. Because all these fucking princesses are gorgeous bitches, and I want to see all kinds of women playing these characters. Do you know what kinds of women I want to see play them? Oh, God. Drag queen, no, they're disgusting. Can't bear them. Do you know what I want to see? I said, do you know what I want to see? I'll tell you when I fix me mic. Hang on. Oh, you've got a good laugh. Good laugh, that. ADHD! Oh, God, yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, I want to see the first Disney princess to be played. I'll tell you in a minute. I wrote to Disney and I said, I won't. I've got an idea for you. And he didn't reply. Don't know why. But I said, I've got an idea for a story and I've wrote you a script. Do you want to read it? Yeah. Oh, God. I said, do you want to read it? Yeah. You're fuming, you, aren't you? This is what we do at showbiz. This is my script if a Scouse woman was to play a Disney princess. So, Picture the scene. Liverpool legend Chrissy Rocks moves to Spain to become an estate agent. The only thing is, she can't speak Spanish.
Can you turn the music up, please, then, yeah? Little town in the south of Spain. Look around, lots of sexy men. Little town full of Spanish people waking up to say,
Hola, buenos, ¿qué tal tu loco?
I've got no fucking clue what they are saying. I can't even order ham and chips. Tried to learn to say patas, ended up in bed with Havas. I can know what they're talking about when they say gracias after a night in the park with Havas. Oh, it was awful. Awful. Oh, you'll never guess what else happened. I'll tell you now when the music starts. I took me kids to buy some lovely swimwear. Said, hola, Speedos, por favor. So she took me kids away, sat and waited around all day. I was in a fucking adoption agency. I couldn't read the signs. Fuck this, I'm going back to Liverpool.
So, Chrissy Rocks arrives back to Liverpool to find that her old mate Cilla Black has come down with a terrible case of agoraphobia and kleptomania, which means she's stuck in the house robbing her own stuff.
Look at me stuff, isn't it nice? Wouldn't you think that my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think that I'm a girl who has everything? Oh, look at me stove, how it sparkles like gold. How many knobs can one little tiny stove hold? Looking around here, you'd think Cilla Black. She's got everything. I've got Sif, I've got Dettol aplenty. I've got Quavits and Watsits galore. You want carrier bags? Look in the drawer. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be out in Formby. I want to see them dancing, walking around in those, what's that word again? Kitten heel. Stuck in me flat, I don't get too far. Just past the bins, maybe even to the car. Oh, where they walk, oh, where they run, oh, where they stay all day in the sun, wanted and free. Wish that I could be out in Formby.
Next thing you know, Cilla's old mate Lily Savage turns up pretending to be an estate agent. I'll admit that in the past I've been a naughty, not allowed within 10 feet of Paul McCartney. But I've mended all my ways. I've stopped the drinking in the days and quit the fags. Well, just the gays, not the smoking. I love the gays. I'm on the straight and narrow spot, started full-time work. I've told the dole that I'm no longer on this sick. But I do a little bit of work for GMA. I'm just not announcing it to the HMRC. There's a cost of living crisis going on. I'm not announcing that as well. Fuck off. As a poor unfortunate soul in bed, in need. But now I work for live lettings with the people I can help them. Do I help them? Yes, indeed. Poor unfortunate soul in bed, in need. You want a swanky place in Kirby? My name's Lily Gazabelle. Is it a shithole? Not at all. But before she can get her hands on Cilla, her granddaughter Philip Crack turns up to save the day. I'm gonna have to sing a song and you're gonna have to join in, but it's my own version, okay? Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, we are Scousers. We don't want this country run by all you Mickey Mouses. If you say it loud enough, they'll hear it past the houses. Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, we are Scousers. Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David. We are Geordies. We don't want this country run by all you fucking Tories. If you say it loud enough, they listen to our stories. Fuck you, Rishi and David, the pig shagging cunt. Hey! Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, we are faggots. We don't want this country run by all you pig shaggers. If you say it loud enough, I'm making myself laugh. Fuck you fucking horrible bastard. Hey! Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, we are Scousers. We don't want this country run by all you Mickey Mouses. If you say it loud enough, they'll hear us past the houses. Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, we are Scousers. I'm gonna do it like opera now because I'm dead posh. Which spike am I going on? Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, we are Scousers. We don't want this cunt. Have I gone too far? Fuck off, I'm doing it anyway. Fuck you, Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, we are Scousers. We don't want this country run by all you Mickey Mouses. If you say it loud enough, they'll hear it past the house. Fuck the Tories, the bunch of horrible cunts. Shut up.
That's the end of that now. You can come back on stage, Diva, while I start cleaning up my own shit.
Come, Ed, are you picking up your own stuff?
Yeah. There's no money in the arts for stage
No,
help.
I know.
Thanks, love.
Have you got all your bits? Feel it crack, everybody! Okay, well, don't go too far because it's the end of the show. But you're probably really happy because you probably need a wee now. I would like to say a big thank you to the Unity and our sound and lighting Zania. Thank you so much. Dada for hosting. They have a completely different event you might be interested in going to see at the Museum of Liverpool on Sunday the 3rd of December each year. Dada presents Eden Rushton Social Justice Lecture on the United Nations International Day for People with Disabilities, and it's the 3rd of December. I want to bring everybody back on stage, so I'm going to go over here because it gets very crowded. We realised earlier when we did this before. So if we could bring Miss Sunny Sarah. Yeah, you go that side. I'll keep moving. Miss Sunny Sarah. Joan Cooper Snort. Sean Fallows. Lizzie Lenka. Where are you? Eden M.W. Little Miss Peaches and Possum. The cute cabaret dog is with us. David Betterman. Phila Crack. Our interpreter, Miss Dora Bell. Get in there first. Get in there. And our other interpreter, she's got to make her way downstairs without breaking her neck. Give her more applause because she's going to come down the stairs. Kaza, Zach and Denise, without whom we couldn't have done it tonight and kept us up and did all our props. You've been an incredible audience. I've been Diva Hollywood. I've just got to get back in here and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 and bow. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? 1, 2, 3 and bow. 1, 2, 3 and bow.